Setting up implementation of a new practice can be like flying a plane. You've charted your path, and now you're ready for takeoff. We want to help you have a smooth takeoff and flight. To help, we will provide some tips for implementing and monitoring your identified practices. Prepare for takeoff. So we want to look at implementing and monitoring the new practice. So what's our purpose? We want to look at the overview, the implementation process, the monitoring process, and keys to remember. So the implementation process consists of 5 steps: a pretest, determining groups, the differentiated instruction, a post-test, and reflection. We also want to examine the monitoring form. So the implementation process, the first step is a pretest. We want to select a pretest that measures the intended skill being implemented. Once we've done the pretest, we can determine student groupings. We want to make them flexible. These are just some suggestions as to how you can break up your control and intervention group. Your control group will take the traditional practice instruction, while your intervention group will receive the new practice instruction. You can do high scores versus low scores, male versus female, a combination split of high scores and low scores, however you want to break up your intended groups. After that, we want to perform the differentiated instruction. We'll require 2 forms of instruction, obviously the new practice versus the traditional practice. In your planning, you'll have to determine where you're going to implement that practice. Is it going to be during the guided instruction, whole group, independent practice? You'll have to determine that during the planning, but you want to ensure that your 2 groups receive the 2 different types of instruction. Following that, you have a post-test. Again, your post-test wants to measure the intended skill being implemented. Preferably not the same as the pretest, because that kind of skews your results. The last step is reflecting. You want to reflect on your teacher implementation, the student's reception of the implementation, and recommendations for future use of the practice. We've created a sample template, which is located underneath the video that you can download. It's only a sample. It's one of those things that you can manipulate in order to address your specific needs, but we covered and provided spaces for you to record all the needed information so that you can keep track of the implementation process for your various practices. We even included space for you to record your reflections, student reflections, and recommendations for future practice. Some keys to remember: plan, plan, plan. When it comes to instruction, planning is the root of all success. You want to make sure that you record all your data, regardless if you use the template or not. You want to record all your data. Mistakes are okay, but you just need to note them so that this can be encompassed in the recommendations for future use of the practice. You want to make sure that you note where you went wrong so that you can correct it in future usage, and how that mistake might have impacted the student's results as well. And get feedback. Taking time to get feedback from both groups, the intervention group and the control group, as to how they felt about the instruction that they received. And that is implementing and monitoring your new practice in a nutshell. Implementing and monitoring your new practice may be difficult at first, but you will get the hang of it. Stick with it. By doing so, you can test multiple strategies per year, increase student achievement, and share with colleagues from a point of experience. Great educators are not born, they are cultivated. By researching, implementing, and monitoring new practices each year, you become self-cultivated. Combine this with the support given by your district, and you are well on your way. We hope this series has helped. Please feel free to leave your comments and questions below, and don't forget to join the discussion. See you next time.